December 2nd, 1993, Medellin, Colombia. The most wanted man in the world is hiding in a middle-class row house in the Los Olivos neighborhood, 1 block from the Atanasio Girardot sports complex. He is barefoot. He has one bodyguard. He weighs 240 pounds and has not left the building in days. He picks up the phone. His family, his wife, his son, Juan Pablo, his daughter, Manuela, are under police guard in a hotel room in Bogota. The phones are tapped. He knows the phones are tapped. His own security protocol demands he speak for less than 2 minutes on any call, then move. He stays on longer. When the Colombian electronic surveillance team led by Brigadier Hugo Martinez locks his signal and triangulates the call to a row house in Los Olivos, the search block mobilizes everything. Ground units, helicopters, snipers on adjacent rooftops. Pablo Escobar drops the phone. His bodyguard Álvaro de Jesus Agudelo, known as El Limón, shouts from the back of the house. They found us. They run. El Limón goes out a window and drops to a lower roof. He is hit by 3 bullets while running and falls to the ground below. Pablo is alone on the terracotta tiles. He fires twice before bullets strike his leg and torso. He is still moving when the fatal shot enters his right ear. The search block soldiers photograph his body on the rooftop before his family is told he is dead. 25,000 people attend his funeral. Within 6 weeks of his death, cocaine flow into the United States increases. The Cali cartel absorbs his roots overnight. The drug war did not end. It got worse. Before we go further, if you're enjoying this story and want more like it, hit the like button and subscribe. Every video we make goes this deep, and there's a lot more coming. Rio Negro, Colombia, December 1st, 1949. Pablo Emilio Escobar Gaviria is born to a schoolteacher and a farmer in a small town outside Medellin. The family moves to Envigado, a suburb of the city, while Pablo is still a child. He drops out of school. His first confirmed criminal enterprise, stealing tombstones from cemeteries in Envigado, sanding the names and inscriptions off the headstones to make them appear unused, and reselling them. The scheme requires no capital, no weapons, and no accomplices beyond his brother Roberto. It requires only the willingness to do something other people find distasteful. Pablo does not find it distasteful. He moves to car theft, then to smuggling contraband. Cigarettes, stereo equipment, fake diplomas. He develops his first major insight watching a Medellin smuggler named Fabio Restrepo count his earnings and miscalculate his margins. Restrepo is buying cocaine paste in Peru for $350 a kilo and selling it in Medellin for $4,000. He thinks this is a good business. Pablo can see further. The same kilo, processed and shipped to Miami, returns $40,000. Restrepo is leaving 90% of potential profit on the table. In 1975, Restrepo is murdered. Pablo fills the vacuum. What drives Pablo Escobar is not greed alone. It is a specific observation he made at the beginning and never stopped making. The system is already corrupt. The cemetery guard who tipped him about fresh burials, the police officer who could be bribed, the judge who could be bought, the politician who could be owned. Pablo does not see these people as obstacles to criminal activity. He sees them as proof that the criminal activity is already happening. He is simply proposing to organize it more efficiently. Plata o plomo, silver or lead, accept the bribe or take the bullet. It is not a threat, it is a business model. By the mid-1970s, alongside Carlos Leder, Gonzalo Rodriguez Gacha, and the 3 Ochoa brothers, Jorge Luis, Fabio, and Juan David, Pablo Escobar founds the organization that will become known as the Medellin Cartel. By the early 1980s, the Medellin Cartel controls an estimated 80% of the cocaine entering the United States. The numbers that result from this are almost impossible to make real. So here is one that is. $1 million in mixed bills weighs 22 pounds. Pablo Escobar's operation handles the equivalent of 40,000 pounds of cash per month. His accountants cannot count it fast enough. They weigh it instead. His brother Roberto, managing the finances, estimates they lose $2.1 billion annually, not to seizure, not to law enforcement, to decomposition. Cash stored in underground plastic barrels in tropical humidity rots. Rats eat through it. Pablo writes the $2.1 billion off. It is, he notes, approximately 10% of gross. Forbes lists him as a billionaire for 7 consecutive years. He offers at one point to personally pay off Colombia's entire national debt of $10 billion in exchange for immunity from extradition. The offer is declined. He builds Barrio Pablo Escobar, 450 homes for Medellin's homeless, along with 70 football fields and dozens of community centers. He funds medical clinics and schools. In the poorest neighborhoods of the city, Pablo Escobar is not a drug lord. He is the man who gave their family a house. The Colombian state provided none of these things. He is elected to Congress in 1982 as an alternate member of the Liberal Party. He attends one session. He sits in the back row and says nothing. It takes one man to end his political career. Justice Minister Rodrigo Lara Bonilla stands before Congress on August 16, 1983, and holds up Pablo's 1976 drug trafficking arrest record. Pablo offers Lara $5 million to retract the accusations. Lara refuses. He offers $10 million. Lara refuses. On April 30th, 1984, sicarios spray Lara's Mercedes with machine gun fire on the streets of Bogota. 7 bullets tear through the minister. He is dead. And Pablo Escobar has just declared war on the Colombian state. The war Pablo wages between 1984 and 1991 is unlike anything a democratic government has faced from a single criminal organization. He orders the assassination of Luis Carlos Galan, the presidential candidate campaigning on a platform of extraditing Pablo to the United States, on August 18, 1989. Galan is shot on stage during a public rally in Soacha. On November 27, 1989, 101 days later, a bomb detonates aboard Avianca Flight 203, a Boeing 727 climbing through 13,000 feet over Colombia, 5 minutes after takeoff from El Dorado Airport in Bogota. The bomb ignites the central fuel tank. The aircraft tears in half. 107 passengers and crew are killed, plus 3 people on the ground struck by falling debris. The target, presidential candidate Cesar Gaviria, who had replaced the assassinated Galan. Gaviria is not on the plane. He canceled at the last minute. Pablo murdered 107 people to kill one man who was not there. 2 of the dead are American citizens. The Bush administration begins direct intelligence operations against the Medellin cartel. The DEA makes Pablo Escobar its top priority worldwide. By 1989, his sicarios have murdered 657 Colombian police officers. They receive approximately $3,000 per officer, 1 month's wages for a killing that takes seconds. By week 6 of the lottery of death, randomly killing 10 police officers per week across different cities, officers begin refusing to wear their uniforms in public. Entire precincts call in sick. The government eventually begs for negotiations. Pablo has one condition. He will surrender, but he will build his own prison. June 19, 1991. The Colombian Congress, on the same day it votes to ban extradition from the new constitution, receives Pablo Escobar's surrender. The prison he has designed and built is called La Catedral, the cathedral. It features a football pitch, a bar, a jacuzzi, a waterfall, a casino, and a giant dollhouse for his daughter. His guards are men he selected personally. The phones, computers, and fax machines allow him to continue running the Medellin cartel from his cell, concealed from officials. Enough weapons for a small army. He is, by every practical measure, not in prison. In the summer of 1992, he summons Fernando Galeano and Gerardo Moncada to La Catedral. They have been accused of stealing from the cartel. Witnesses later confirm that both men are tortured and killed inside the prison. Their bodies are burned. Pablo's own sicarios, hardened men who have committed murders on his orders for years, are shaken by what they witness. When the government orders Pablo moved to a conventional prison on July 22, 1992, he escapes through a tunnel before the transfer can happen. He walks out of the hilltop compound into the Medellin night. He will be free for exactly 16 months. By the end of 1993, Pablo Escobar is reduced to one bodyguard, one safe house, and a transistor radio on which he hears the Colombian government offer $6 million for information leading to his capture. He once spent more than that on a single party. Los Pepes, people persecuted by Pablo Escobar, has destroyed his network systematically, funded in part by the rival Cali cartel, led by former associates and enemies who have united around the single objective of his death. Los Pepes has eliminated safe houses, frozen accounts, and driven his support base to near zero. His family are confined to a hotel room in Bogota under strict police surveillance. He calls them every day, pretending to be a journalist to get through on tapped phones. His protocol demands less than 2 minutes. On December 1st, 1993, his 44th birthday, he celebrates with his cousin Luzmila, his mother, and El Limon, his last bodyguard. On December 2nd, he calls his family again. The first call comes in under 2 minutes. The second call does not. Brigadier Hugo Martinez's electronic surveillance team triangulates the signal to a middle-class row house in Los Olivos. Search block moves to the location. They break down the front door with a sledgehammer. Pablo is still on the phone. El Limon shouts, "El Patron, they have found us." They run. El Limon goes out a window. He drops to a lower roof and is shot 3 times. He falls to the ground below and dies. Pablo Escobar reaches the terracotta roof. He fires twice. He is hit in the leg and torso. The fatal shot enters his right ear. The search block photograph themselves, standing over his body before his family knows he is dead. Colombia declares victory. 25,000 mourners attend his funeral. 6 weeks later, cocaine flow into the United States increases. The Cali cartel absorbs his roots and his markets overnight. The headstones in the cemeteries around Envigado still have names on them. The system Pablo Escobar identified at the age of 14, the system that was already criminal, where he was simply not yet getting his cut, is still operational. Nobody dismantled it. They just removed him from it. And the people who replaced him were already waiting. The week Pablo Escobar died, the Cali cartel absorbed his roots, his clients, and his market share without firing a single additional shot. They had been waiting. Gilberto and Miguel Rodriguez Orejuela, the gentlemen of Cali, ran the world's cocaine trade from 1993 to 1995 in a way that made the Medellin cartel look crude. No wars with the government, no bombed airliners, no assassinated presidential candidates. They bribed instead of killed, corrupted instead of terrorized, and at their peak controlled 80% of global cocaine supply while remaining almost completely invisible to the international press. They were brought down not by force, not by intelligence, but by a single fax machine left running in an unattended office and the Colombian police officer who noticed the outgoing number. That story is next.